things that have brought you to this current moment, and just valuing yourself. As we have given away too much trust or too much of our power, it's turning back and pulling that back in and connecting back with. Hey, welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. Tonight we are bringing some love into the readings. I haven't done a love reading in so long. And so I had someone ask me on one of my lives about love. So I thought I would bring out the energy of love, right? It's always good to consider love. And so thank you for stopping by. Make sure you like, share, comment. We're going to take a look at the energy of love around you, right? It is a general read, so please take it as it resonates. Don't try to make anything fit. Just, enjoy the read. If it aligns with you, then wonderful. This could be for you. If not, that's okay too. If you're looking for a love reading, you can email me, or you can go over to my calendar and schedule a live reading with me around love. And so let's take a look. What is the energy of love coming out? So before I go into any type of tarot spreads, I'm going to pull from my Hidden Truth Oracle deck just to see what someone you could have had an interaction with, maybe are thinking about. Maybe you're no longer connected to them. Maybe you are connected with them. Let's see what they have to say. So I couldn't let you get too close to me. I wish I could share my good news with you. So this almost feels like there could have been someone that was in your life at one point in time that is no more, and they desire to still be a part of your life. They're missing you. They're missing your presence. There could be some things about your connection that if they could, they would go back and redo it if they had the opportunity. Yeah, I can't stop thinking about you. I know that I crossed the line with you. So it almost feels like someone may feel a little bit regretful about how things turned out, or how things went down, how things ended. Obviously, they're still thinking about you. Finding out the truth crushed me. This could be, something that didn't end, ideally. I want to feel that way again. Yeah, they miss you. You and I were too young. Maybe this is somebody that was from your past. That's a possibility. Maybe someone from your youth, someone that you grew up with. You and I were too young. Maybe there was a lot of regret about not really having the maturity to handle, what it was that it could have been. And so, yeah. All right. I'm also going to pull from my Lover's Oracle just to see what other more deep seated messages come out. Those were a little bit, on the surface. Let's see what actually comes up going a little bit deeper. Let's see. I hope you guys are well this evening. Like, share, comment if you're enjoying this reading. I appreciate you taking time to stop by and say hello. If you're watching, give me a like, comment, let me know what you think. To those who do comment and let me know what you're looking for, like the person who asked for the love reading, I appreciate that. Let me know what it is that you're looking for. I have someone ask the other day too for something about a Disney. I don't know if he was asking about like how the stocks are doing. There was a pretty interesting question that I didn't get to answer because I was doing a specific reading. Let's see, what else? Okay, so we have sexual union and balance coming out for you. Let's get one more. One more for my viewer spirit. All right, and this is a general. And so the cards that came out is talking about honoring spaces within each other. If you are in a connection, it could be a deep connection. It doesn't have to be, but it's talking about honoring space within another where you connect, whoever you're connecting with, to honor a deep space, not just allow it to be superficial. To kind of look at it from a more holistic point of view. And I feel like this is talking a lot about respect, like a mutual respect. Look for connections, or the connections where you're able to have a very deep mutual respect, where you're able to honor each other on a deep level, are the ones that are going to give the most fulfillment and enjoyment. And that can be a very physical connection. It doesn't have to just end there, right? It could be something much deeper than that. Also, the cards are talking about balance as well, and how love is not always just about agreeing, just to agree, right? But a good relationship, matter of fact, a great relationship is one where you are able to support each other in the things that you agree on and the challenges as well. That's a good relationship, right? It has balance. And so understanding that everything, when we talk about love, doesn't always have to be good. Like there should be a little bit of friction. There should be a little bit of challenge, right? That makes a great relationship. And then the last energy is talking about passing away from this particular point in time on your journey. When you pass out of this world, you don't get to take anything with you. The only thing that you get to take is your soul, possibly your memories that you shared with those that you love. And so this is just a reminder of what's important. It's a reminder. Okay. This is about love. Now let's go ahead and pull out the tarot. And I've decided to use my Tarot of the Heart, which only deals with the major arcana, the major themes, and archetypes within the major arcana when it's talking about love. And so let's take a look and see what comes out for you with love. Again, if you're enjoying this reading, make sure you like, share, comment. It does help the channel to grow. Every bit of support is appreciated. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. Blood Moon Oracle. So let's take a look. All right. Go ahead and cut my deck. Let's see what's happening for you in love right now. What is happening for my viewer in love right now, Spirit? What is the heart saying right now in love for my viewer? When we look at the inner parts of who you are and what you're dealing with right now in love, what is that energy? Ooh, for someone, it's the Tower. And see, so, and don't throw in the towel because I said it's the Tower. For those of you that know tarot, like you might automatically just cringe up when you hear the Tower, but it is not always bad. The Tower it gets a bad rap. The Tower is necessary. If we're ever going to get to something better than what we've ever had, or if we're ever going to get past difficult spots in love, we have to have Tower moments. Tower moments come in many times to wipe the slate clean so that we can have a fresh beginning and be able to learn from situations that we may not have been able to help ourselves out of. How many of you have been in a situation in love where if Spirit hadn't come in on your behalf, listen, ain't no telling what things would be like right now. That's me. And so I understand the value of a Tower card. Like this is a lifesaver. And so this is the heart of the energy coming in for you right now. And so this actually represents that energy that's actually serving as foundational right now. And it's not necessarily one that's permanent, but it represents like the true nature of the energy that's taken a hold of where you are in your heart right now due to current events or things that are happening in life right now when it pertains to love. And this is the energy that is tied to the present situation. And when we look at the Tower, this energy is the energy of turmoil, but it's good turmoil, right? Remember what I said, sometimes it's a necessary energy to help us to start again, or when things weren't built on a strong foundation, they may have even been built on a lie. It comes in to tear down that which is not stable so that we then could have the opportunity to build something stable. Is it painful? Many times it is. I'm not even going to lie to you, but the other side of that is new beginnings, more stable beginnings, right? The actual opportunity to have what we really want, not just settle for what's easy. And so there's some energy about this that signifies right now you feel like things are just not going in your favor, like something is not working or something has been, when it comes to your heart, like things feel very difficult right now. And it could very much feel like you don't have a lot of control over your heart, what's happening when it pertains to your heart right now. But it's also a very humbling experience too. A lot of times when we talk about the Tower, we're talking about egoic energy that's actually being deconstructed from within us so that we can actually see a better way too. So it has a lot to do with coming to a humble place when it comes to love. I feel like this may be talking about just having to be subject to the moment and not having a lot of control with how things are happening right now. And this energy comes in and has a very purifying effect. It has a very cleansing effect too. And it also has the effect of setting life on fire, and it has the ability or the opportunity to engage with passion. Like out of the most difficult, heart-wrenching experience comes art. Some of the most beautiful art comes from heartbreak, right? The most beautiful music. I can't help but think of people like Mary J. Blige, who seems to just have a difficult time. She has had a difficult time, but the music has been all about that. And it's beautiful music. Whenever I want to go there, I'll pull out some Mary J. Blige because she will take you there every single time. Her music is about lessons in love. And so this feels like having to have this moment with your heart to realize something greater, something better, or to redirect maybe where you were headed. And I like to say that sometimes that spirit reaching his hand down or her hand down to be involved in our situation, because had spirit not done that, she needed to do that because we are not capable, or we never would have for ourselves. But this could be like having your connection under great attack right now, and it may have fallen apart under pressure, right? And there's not a lot that you can do but just surrender to the moment. It is what it is. And this could also be even your personal values when it comes to love coming under attack, whatever that is, whoever that could be, it's coming under attack. And whatever way of life that you had is no longer attainable. It's no longer sustainable at this point for whatever reason. This may even need to be even willing to surrender to the moment and not be defensive about it. That's where it feels like, you are right now with this Tower moment coming in. Let's see. How are you feeling about this? Let's see. What is your energy in response to this Tower moment when it comes to love, when it comes to your heart? How does this feel for you? What's your energy here? Let's see. Oh, well, the sun came out. That's interesting. Because when we talk about your energy right now is talking about like the surrounding energy, what things feel like, what things look like around you, what mood you're in, or the things around you that's creating your mood and the atmosphere. It's almost like things being situated for the future energy to emerge. And it's interesting that the sun would come out, because the sun is actually pretty inspirational energy when it comes to love, because the sun is talking about happiness. It's talking about long-term fulfillment, success. It's even talking about children. You see these children in the card here? It's talking about being able to enjoy life, not only, by yourself, but also with those that you love. And so maybe there is, the recognition that this was something, whatever this tower represents, is something that was actually needed. And maybe you realize that. And now maybe you understand that there is, in fact, something better coming along, because the sun says that the energy that you're carrying is actually a pretty high level of happiness. Like you are enjoying life right now. The sun is like the happiest card in the deck. So whatever this was that just happened, I don't feel like you have a big issue with it. Or maybe you've just accepted it and you've moved on to the next thing in life. Maybe you're surrounded with a good support system too, to where you don't even allow yourself to be affected negatively by this. That could be it too. There's some level of growth. I do feel like that you've been able to pull out of whatever this lesson was with the tower. I just feel like you have a good surrounding, like your environment is good and very supportive and conducive for love. Whatever that looks like. It feels very warm and comforting. And so this is a promise, I feel like, of you just understanding what you have. If you are definitely experiencing the difficulty, maybe your relationship has come under fire, maybe that is actually what was needed to bring you guys together closer. It could even be like us against the world type of energy. And you've chosen love over everything else that's come against this union. But whatever it is, you have this very carefree energy. Yeah. And if you've come to grips with losing a relationship, this is being ready for the next one, the sun. Just ready for what's coming next. You understand that something better is coming along. And you're ready to get it cracking, right? The sun talks about kids. It talks about generation. You're ready to start your next relationship. You're looking for something that may in fact be the beginning of you expanding your family as well. You could be engaging in lots of social events right now. We do that too, right? Whenever we do break up with someone, we're like, well, time to get back out there. Right? So you might find yourself out just, socializing now. Whatever this is, it feels like you're handling it really well and you have a really good support system around you. Let's see. All right, let's see what else comes out here. What else here, Spirit? All right, so we have the Wheel of Fortune. And so when we talk about the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like this could be helpful, but it also could talk about being held back in some type of way. So we're either talking about things that are supportive to your goals or things that could be adding a little bit of friction to whatever the situation is right now. And when it comes to love, the Wheel of Fortune is all about destiny. It's destined energy because we're talking about the will and we're talking about karma. We're talking about things happening as they're supposed to. Even luck, right? We're talking about being at the right place at the right time, or even having things happen in your favor. When we talk about the energies at play, things being aligned for your success or your highest good. But with the energy of whether this is hurtful or harmful, we're talking about destiny. The Wheel of Fortune is all about destiny. And it talks about fate and how things, and it's almost like understanding things are not linear when we talk about the energy of time, right? But yeah, we may have an expected place where we end up, but there's so many other different events that will take place along the way, that is meant to deliver lessons, that's meant to deliver experiences. Like the universe has set up a map for each of us to travel, right? And along that map is different little things where we stop off and gain, because life is all about learning, right? They call it the Earth School because it's all about learning. And all these experiences culminate into this very unique learning plan for you and for me. We all have it. We all have an IEP, an individualized educational plan when we talk about life. And Spirit is the author of that individualized plan. And so when we look at the Wheel of Fortune, this is allowing, it's a balance between allowing and really taking control of the moment. I did a reading not too long ago about the dance between surrender and empowerment. I think it was surrender and empowerment, but it was the concept of understanding, yes, there is a specific level of control we've been given, but then there's also being able to release the overall outcome to the divine, to our creator, right? But we've been given a certain level of power to make decisions, a certain level of will, divine will, to make decisions, but there's a balance there. And so I feel like this could be, challenging, but it also could be helpful at the same time, depending on how you're looking at your love life right now. If you find it difficult to surrender to what's happening right now or how things are being played out, that might be a challenge. And if you're easygoing, right, then this may not be anything. If you leave it up to the powers that be, and it's like, well, if it's meant, it will be. If it's not, then it's not. It's all about that energy of destiny, and understanding that there is a divine plan at work, right? There's a divine plan at work. And this little device here, it looks very complicated, right? But it represents destiny. It represents the stars. It represents astrology and the alignment of the planets, right? Basically, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about our birth charts. And so the understanding of that, I guess, could actually help us to go with this a little bit easier. But with this here, I feel like also we have to be ready for the unexpected, and we have to be ready to surrender at any given moment. Because again, there's a divine plan, and it may not necessarily align with what we have in store or what we would specifically ask for. And so there's a balance there. For you, though, I feel like this could talk about having like a shift in your perspective, having a shift in your affections, even unexpectedly. And for some of you, you could be entering into this very happy phase of your relationship, as things like family and work and finances take a turn for the better. Because again, the Wheel of Fortune is really all about luck and destiny, being prepared when opportunity arises. And this, in fact, may in fact serve as an energy that will bring you closer in your relationship. And if you're looking, this may in fact be like a turn of events that position you to meet that one. But it's all about understanding divine timing versus our timing. So depending on how you're looking at that, that could be challenging when it comes to love. But I feel like this is definitely your hopes coming around. And so whatever it is that you desire, I hear it said often, desires you. All you have to do is be in that energy, and it automatically is attracted to you, okay? And so be open to destiny, the energy of destiny, okay? Be open to it. And let's see, what is it that you desire? What are you desiring here? What are you hoping when it comes to love? What is my viewers' hopes when it comes to love? Ooh, I feel like you're looking for someone who is very generous. You're looking for someone who is selfless, someone who actually is seen kind of like in very high frequency energy, because charity is almost like Venusian energy, right? Very goddess-like energy or God-like energy. This is someone who is very connected to those around them and have made actually a place in people's hearts. This is someone who's very cherished. And so I feel like you probably are desiring someone who is very dependable, someone you can rely on, someone who is fertile. I do see an egg here. Someone who's fertile, who's able to, conceptualize or conceive is the word. Someone who is generous and a little bit protective. You want someone who's not so laid back that they don't care whether you're coming or going, but you want someone who notices and may be a little bit protective. Someone who has family values and community associations. It almost feels like you're looking for a nurturer. Someone who is very passionate too. And mature. So this is probably going to be someone who is not new to the love game. You're looking for someone who has experience, not someone that you're probably not looking for somebody that you have to teach, right? This is going to be someone who steps on the scene, who already knows. This might even be someone who you can actually teach each other, like you have something to offer each other. I don't feel like this is going to be like you're looking for your father or you're looking for your mother. This is someone who's actually matured in love. That means they have to have had some experience. Yeah. Okay. So what is the advice for my viewer? Any advice in love for my viewer? Any advice in love? All right, we have the Lovers. So I feel like Spirit is just letting you know that this is actually a time where it's safe to allow yourself to fall in love and be open to what comes. Cupid is shooting the arrow. And with the Wheel of Fortune coming out, I do feel like this is really a good time. Love is coming towards you, and to allow yourself to be open to it. This may also be a time where things may get challenging, and you may be placed in a position to make choices. Like you may end up having to choose between your friends and this new lover, or family and this new lover. Like this is a time for you to actually think about your future. And so in this case, Spirit would say to choose your lover because that's where your future lies. But the advice is to be open to love, the love that's coming in for you. With Cupid shooting, you may end up head over heels in love again, or maybe you're already in love. You're being guided to surrender to it, not to run away from it by allowing other things and other people to get in the way. Sometimes we do that on purpose because we don't want to become too close to the person that we're in a relationship with. And so we purposefully allow things and people to get in the way as a buffer. But Spirit is saying not to do that. Like it's safe to allow yourself to fall deeply in love if you're connected with someone right now. If you're not, then be open to the energy coming towards you. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. What kind of lessons have you had in the past? Let's see if we can get some specifics out here. What have you been through? Like, what kind of lessons have you learned from the past when it comes to love? We have the Star coming out here. What kind of lessons have you learned from the past? And so I feel like part of the lesson for someone, when I look at the Star immediately, it reminds me of being replenished as I look at these pictures pouring back in to the water source. So one of the lessons you may have learned is the lesson around not allowing yourself to be totally drained. So till you have nothing left for yourself, you could have learned lessons around that and learn how to actually take time and energy to replenish yourself, not to give everything of yourself until you have nothing to give for yourself. I do feel like also there's lessons that you've learned around listening and allowing yourself to take wise advice. There's something here with the Star around the energy of guidance. And so I feel like that has been part of the lessons that you've learned in the past, being able to take good advice or some level of guidance. I don't know if you had some experience where someone was trying to give you, some advice and you were a little bit resistant to it and maybe found out later that, okay, it was good advice. Yeah. And so there's some level of learning too around love. And with the experiences that you've had, you've been able to actually cultivate your own wisdom around love and your own lessons. And I feel like you've grown from that. There's some lessons in love that actually matured you in life. Yeah. There could be lessons too that you've learned about balance, especially with the lovers being here. I feel like with the lovers, there's the temptation to allow things to come between your connections. So there could be lessons you've learned here around creating boundaries, setting boundaries for your relationships. That could be one. And making your relationship a priority could be one as well. Or even prioritizing yourself within the relationship. There could also, for some of you, be lessons you've learned about learning about caring for the other person. And when I say caring for the other person, I mean not just expecting yourself to be the source of receiving all the time, but, getting away from that very selfish energy. That is a sign of immaturity in love. And so that could have been one of the lessons that you've learned, is kind of thinking about someone else other than yourself, and being able to look at things from someone else's perspective as well. Yeah. There's something here too about giving gifts, because the star card is also about receiving a gift or something that you asked for. So that could also be a lesson. There was some lesson around possibly finding or understanding the importance of being able to love someone in the way that they desire to be loved, like the love languages, and so that could be one of the lessons you've learned as well. Yeah. And so I also feel like there's some energy with the star of inspiring yourself. Like for someone, there is this lesson where you learn to be your own cheerleader. Like there's some lesson around not looking at your partner to produce happiness within you. You've learned to do that for yourself, for someone. I'm hearing. Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. I'm just going to pull a couple more. Um, are there any particular things that my viewer needs to be worried about right now? Anything they need to be worried about right now? All right. So strength is coming out here. And when we talk about the strength card, this says something about this energy. There's something about this energy that enters in unannounced or without you really understanding or knowing, without this, inviting this energy in. And so this could be creating friction. And I can't help but look at this card, and she's like, kind of like in a panic, trying to hold the column up because it's broken. She doesn't want it to fall apart. And so there's some preoccupation with what's going on around you, almost kind of like trying to keep things together. You could be the one that's always fixing in the relationship, trying to hold things together that may, in fact, need to fall apart, right? We're talking about that tower energy. It may need to fall apart. Sometimes you have to let things fall apart so that they can actually fall together in the right way. Sometimes it needs to, especially if it's not built on a solid foundation, it needs to fall apart. And, trusting and understanding that if that thing was meant to be re-resurrected, it would be. If it's not, then there must be something better, right? Whatever that could be. But the courage, the strength is talking about courage in love. But this is like possibly a challenge or an obstacle that shows up without you even realizing. And I feel like it's around that energy. And I can't help but see her trying to pull this or keep this thing from falling apart. And it's the energy of just trying to, I don't know if there is a tendency to fix, a tendency to overdo your part in an attempt to make it work. Well, right. One of the things that we many times have to find out in a relationship that it takes two to make it work. Like one person's effort is not enough to make a relationship work. And there will be times where we will need to hold things together, but it shouldn't just be one person doing it, right? It should be, if there's two people in the relationship, this should be a group effort, with both partners in the relationship. But this has to feel like there's a tendency to try to always fix or prevent things from, falling apart or falling down. And the attempt to elude or avoid any towers. We could even call this a tower, right? The sense of feeling like there's some immediate danger if I don't intercede and fix it before it actually falls apart, But there's some like moral lesson that happens here or that's coming out of this, whatever this challenge is. And it's talking about patience. It's talking about courage. And I feel like when we talk about patience and courage, we're talking about having grace with ourselves, right? Not feeling like we have to be perfect. And having the courage to allow things to actually, do what they need to do in order to reveal what's truly there. Because as long as we're constantly covering up, then there's no healing taking place, right? Sometimes things need to get ugly in order to realize what's needed in the situation. And so having the courage and the grace to allow these things to be revealed, that's where the success comes in. Being able to face those things, and just call it what it is. That shows commitment to love, right? And this may show up as, different little obstacles that enter into the relationship if you're in a relationship to test, the convictions of the relationship, and whatever that could be. It could talk about things that actually get out of hand, that actually test our boundaries or test our limits, things like that. And rather than, try to fix it on one side and try to act like it's not an issue and that it's going to be okay if we just keep, puffing it up and building it back up. But on the other hand, it could also be the tendency or the temptation to match the energy, especially if it's a toxic energy that's showing up, to match it, which would only further cause things to get out of control and out of hand, And so instead of allowing yourself to go there too, but pull it back in and use a level of restraint, not retaliation, right? So it could be both sides of that picture. There's something here that shows that there's some challenge with the connection if you're in a connection. That shows that there's something brewing on the inside that may need healing. There always is, right? If there's no healing needed in a relationship, then is it a relationship? There's something here, but it's talking about having the courage to face that. It's talking about having courage in love to do the hard things, whatever it could be. Yeah. It's not being consumed by that thing that we're afraid of, but facing it. And this could be dealing with personal issues for some of us who are looking for love. There could be festering things inside of us that put up blocks and block love, right? It's being willing to take a look at those things face to face and see what they are. That's the challenge coming out, the strength. And for me, the strength represents doing something over and over and over until you actually become just the master of it. That's what, life is made of. It's made of lessons and learning, even as it pertains to love. Like some of these things we'll be doing over and over and over until the wheels roll off. Yeah, and we're going to get the Pulitzer Prize for them, because by the time we're done doing it over and we finally become masters, we're going to be like experts at it, And so we're going to end it with the Empress. All right, end it with the Empress. This is the possible outcome, that will manifest as a result of the actions taken on the energies that we're learning about here. And so it's a possible future outcome here. And the Empress is a very beautiful energy. And the Empress actually is talking about fertility and family, legacy, right? As we look at her crown is made of a tree with fruit and flowers. It don't get no more fertile than that, right? It's talking about the growth that's happening. The Empress is actually a feminine archetype, but we could also be talking about the Emperor as well, which is the father. The Empress is the mother, and she is that Venusian, that Aphrodite type of energy. She is the goddess of love, Gaia herself, and every good thing, that is good, it grows from her because the intentions that she carries is good. And everything that is hers, is ready for harvest too. It's just everything about her is abundant, And so when we talk about love, we're talking about not only this love that we have, me and you, or you and your partner, but we're talking about an extension of that love. We're talking about family. We're talking about growth. We're talking about fertility. We're talking about enjoying every good thing in life, generations to come, and the fruitfulness of what will be coming from what we produce together. And so, again, she's the partner of the Emperor, which is the exact same energy, but from a masculine perspective, and it's beautiful. And so she brings a gift. And so this is the possible outcome here for you. This is the gift of genuine love and, a very beautiful possibility of relationship and developing it, consistently into more. And this could even be talking about commitment too, and growing deeper and deeper in love with the one that chooses you or the one that you choose. The Empress also talks about pregnancy, as we just said. We're talking about generations of happiness and fruitfulness as well. And so the potential is everywhere for love. That's what the Empress says. If you're already in a relationship, it has the potential to grow deeper and wider and more beautiful. And if you're looking, this season is right for love. It's coming your way. I mean, there's no better card to end on when it says love. This says that you are attracting what it is that you desire. All you have to do is just sit in the energy of love. That's what the Empress does. She is love, and she attracts it, And so this is a beautiful reading. I love this. I hope you liked it as well. I hope there was some encouraging information here for you. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Thank you for stopping by. It has been Blood Moon Oracle stopping by with the energy of love. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the chat for me. Let me know what you are thinking. If you are desiring to get a personal reading, please let me know. You can email me here at LettiSpeaks@gmail.com. You can also go down to my description box below and take a look at my calendar. It's down there as well. Lots of ways to get in touch with me. Let me know what you think down in the description. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it spoke to you. And for the person who asked for a love reading, I hope you get an opportunity to watch this as well. This is in response to your request in my comments. Okay. All right. Ending it here. Have a good evening. This is Leticia selling off Blood Moon Oracle on the Love Boat. All right. Till next time. Bye.